Hey guys, back at you guys again with another video. And today I wanted to quickly touch on the premise of essentially why agents are losing deals and why the next deal becomes more of a stranglehold and the whole mindset behind that. For those of you guys that don't know, maybe you're clicking on for the first time, my name is Enku. I am the CEO and owner of Freedom Code. We help insurance agents all across the world, such as yourself, bridge the gap from 3 to 5K a month to above $10,000 a month. Here I am, essentially just sharing a few tips on exactly how it is that we're able to get you to that point. One of the things that I used to see a lot when it comes to insurance agents, and sometimes I still do, is that they come in and they have very, very lofty expectations. And a lot of that is because of the fact that they see other agents, or maybe they heard from a friend, maybe they were recruited by a friend and they talked up the income opportunity. A lot of times people jump into insurance for the income opportunity. Well, that is true. There is a lot of money to be made in the insurance business, right? Please reconcile with the fact that if it was easy, then the churn rates wouldn't be so high and you wouldn't have people that are not as successful as they had hoped from joining insurance, right? Clearing under $3,000 a month, working 40, 50 hours a week in hopes that you're going to break through. And that's the worst thing, is that without a system in place, and without a clear direction on how you're going to get to 10,000 a month, a lot of times all you have is hope, but no direction. And that's what I'm here to help kind of guide you guys through and make sure that you guys are taking the right steps so that you can, of course, reap the rewards of why you joined insurance to begin with, which is to create the residual income, to make an impact for whether it's yourself or whether it's your family, and really just change the environment that maybe you've been in financially for years and years and years. And so for me, at least, first joining the industry and not really having a set direction, I just knew that as an agent, if I wrote a lot, that, I would make a lot of money. And if I was able to duplicate that system over and over and over again over the course of 10, 11, 12 months and compound that, I think I'll be pretty good here. And that's how I was able to not only succeed as an agent, but then going into my leadership days as well and running a team, it was essentially that on a level of you're just going to have the same systems I do to make sure that there's nothing lacking in why you're not able to get to that point. If I say, hey, I'm going to give you all the resources that help me, all the tools, all the lead, whatever you need to get you, now you just have to put the work in. If you're not putting the work in and meeting me at least halfway, now I know the agents that are really cut out for insurance and the ones that are not. And that's really sometimes all it takes to really build a successful agency and to continue persevering in insurance as well for the years to come. When agents come in and they've gone through a slump, and that's really where you're defined is during your slumps, maybe not having the best weeks, or you going through an identity crisis. Is it this lead issue? Am I really not as good as I think, right? You start doubting yourself. All these thoughts are completely normal. The thing you have to understand is that if things become normal, if you're looking at your numbers starting to dip on not a week-to-week level, but on maybe even a 3-month level, right? If you're noticing maybe your writing average is starting to drop or your income is starting to drop, or maybe it's not stabilized at where you'd like it to be, then you have to internalize that there is something that has to be going wrong with your business. If there are other people, and that's the thing about sales and being in sales, is the people that are within the same agency as you are also finding ways to make money. So don't tell me it's impossible, right? Because I'm seeing it here, here, and here. You just have not found the system yet, right? No one comes in, unless you're coming in from another agency, no one's coming into insurance with hundreds of thousands of dollars ready to blow on leads, right? Not a lot of people are. So it's how are you going to work those leads? How are you going to follow up with them? And how are you going to stay disciplined enough to not only get better while you are going through your career, but stay on top of what you need to stay on top of as well with any regulatory changes or system updates, lead updates, whatever the case might be. Understanding that for me and being able to apply that to a lot of agents, what ends up happening is agents will go through these low points and they are usually sometimes over-explaining on their pitch. They're talking past the buying moment. They're ready to buy, but no, you need to see this last feature. You need to see this other plan, or something that's directing you away from them. If they're asking you for the sale, you got to take the sale. You're re-explaining things instead of just closing, right? Obviously, everyone knows in terms of the, looping back, or if you've ever watched any Wolf of Wall Street or whatever the case, with Jordan Belfort, straight line system. One thing that you'll acknowledge is that they're not ready to buy for whatever reason, and you explain something and you go over that or re-loop. The next thing you should be doing after you explain that is going to the close. And so oftentimes these agents would come and they would talk. And it's, again, you're sounding desperate for the sale. And the clients, a lot of times, and this is just a human factor in general, where you buy or you desire things that come from a calm certainty, right? A calm confidence within yourself that whether or not they buy from you, the next deal will come. It's an abundance mindset. It's very, very, very hard to be in an abundant mindset when you are struggling. I will acknowledge that. But that is the landscape of the industry that you jumped into. It's not going to be sunshine and roses every single day. There are going to be days where you have missed appointments. I don't care who you are. You're going to have clients not ready to buy. You're not going to have as many calls set for the day that you had hoped, but it's persevering through that, facing that for what it is, and then still acknowledging the abundance mindset within the insurance industry that, you know, there's an abundant amount of people that need insurance. There's an abundant amount of people that you're going to be able to close. You just have to basically meet that you have to face that interaction at some point in the day. Understanding that your pipeline, again, I can't stress this enough, this is going to create indifference, not essentially any arrogance from yourself, but you have to come at it where if your pipeline is on point, then this won't even be a possibility. It's going to be impossible for you to face this issue specifically if you're on top of your pipeline and you're hitting the benchmarks that you should be. If you want me to walk you through exactly how you can break this cycle and how you can break this mindset and lead your way to abundance, go ahead and book a call down below. Again, until next time, guys, I appreciate you guys for watching.